broken, Canada's broken, and Canada's broken because we're stupid.
The CTV hack reporter here is just going to read the teleprompter like it's not a big deal. They're warning you to brace yourself for major change.
Prime Minister Mark Carney getting ready to head to Europe today. His plane is just taking off from the airport in Ottawa, as I can see on our cameras here. The Prime Minister will be in the United Kingdom for more trade talks with the British. But Mark Carney will also be meeting with leaders of Australia, Spain, Denmark, Iceland. There he is with Keir Starmer on an earlier visit at 10 Downing Street. The idea here is to find new friends and also to deepen trade ties with the friends we have. Donald Trump's trade war on our country has really scrambled the economic math, and Canada needs new friends, allies, trading partners. And it's going to be a long road, by the way, so brace yourself as we rewire our trading relationships. But obviously, the Europeans, British, Australians are good options. Carney will be in the UK from Thursday until Sunday. He'll also be there for a pivotal moment on Canadian sport. Canada takes on England in women's rugby on Saturday. And Carney earlier today was meeting with the leader of Ireland as well. All right, Tom.
Gang, what's up? Aaron, Canadian Looney. I started this channel 2 years and a day ago, and I've never been more afraid or confused about what is going to happen next. Let's take a peek. Mark Carney is a con man. In case you're not aware, he's going to steal all of the rights you thought you had. And he'll do it under the guise of incompetence and being a big smart banker without a budget, as he decimates our Canadian culture from the inside. This isn't a coincidence. I'm terrified for your children. I don't have any, but I'm scared for yours. Let's take a look. Canadian culture is gonna go away. Mark Carney is gonna get rich based on that from your tax dollars, and he's paying the media to tell you his side of the story, never anything else. Is that what you signed up for? Is that what you voted for? Let's take a peek at what's going on in Canada. I'm terrified for your kids.
Canada's Prime Minister is in London tonight trying to build trade and security ties with other countries in the wake of tensions with the United States. Catherine Cullen now on what Canada is offering up to its allies.
I'm grateful that the relationship is so strong because I'm now going to test the relationship.
A friendly joke between rivals on the women's rugby pitch, but allies on security and trade. Increasingly close allies if Mark Carney has his way.
Fantastic after we win. All right. Thank you so much. So we build as an...
This is Carney's latest effort to beef up Canada's list of friends and trading partners at a summit for centre-left politicians.
I have to say, I don't think we've been in a time where the domestic impact of what's happening internationally has been as profound and as direct as it is at the moment.
On a panel of world leaders, Carney made his pitch for not focusing on pitfalls, but what allies can do together.
We have agency, but we have to build strength at home, find those like-minded partners, bring together. And in doing so, we deliver for our citizens, but also it gives a confidence and a purpose to the country that is empowering.
But the Conservative leader suggests it's all talk, tweeting Mark Carney's illusion tour is all for show. But Carney's conversations in London are not just about the economy.
But we're also countries that trust each other when it comes to security issues.
Senior officials say they're talking to allies about what more Canada can do to support Ukraine and how Canada can contribute to a peace process in the Middle East, too. In both cases, Carney has left the door open to participation by Canadian troops. That could test Canada's capacity.
The state of readiness for our armed forces to do much more than we're doing right now is really quite low.
Canadian officials suggest the trade and security conversations are linked and that allies might be more willing to open up their markets when Canada is doing its fair share on defense. Catherine Cullen, CBC News, London.
It gets worse than that. These CBC zealots like Catherine Cullen and David Cochrane just spreading that BS propaganda media. It's so disappointing. They're duping a lot of Canadians. It's time for Canadians to be aware that we have a con man prime minister that is looking to destroy our way of being. He's doing it in real time.
We're on the path to being in trouble. So that's what our 5-year forecast, the numbers that we released earlier this week, indicate. That if left unchanged, the fiscal path that the government's currently on will definitely result in us being in quite a bit of trouble and having to make some hard decisions.
Now, in getting here, what do you attribute this to? Is this like Donald Trump's trade policies, the roosters coming home to nest, or is this about government spending priorities and not controlling it?
I think it's kind of a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B. So there definitely is an impact in comparison to our previous forecast. You can definitely see the impact on the overall growth for the Canadian economy. A larger part of it is the government policy decisions. So there ends up being about $115 billion in net new costs since the last time we prepared a forecast back immediately prior to the election in March 2025. And a good part of that is attributable to defense. So changing geopolitical environment, priorities for the government to increase spending on defense, which we saw that was announced in June, earlier this year in June, and of course on the tax side, on the revenue side. So $6 billion a year, so about $30 billion over the next year, plus revenue that we're no longer going to have because the lowest personal rate went from 15 down to 14. Mm-hmm. But yeah, certainly a little bit of both, but certainly at this point, it's more on the government.
As a European, I am a European, actually.
Oh, you are?
I'm Irish citizen. Yeah. So there you go.
Welcome.
Speaking as a European, I like to say the following.
It's time for a change in this country, my friends. A real change.
These are Muslim values. These are Canadian values. So we're meeting now in that context in, as you just said, in hard times. We might say even a hinge moment of history. A world that's more dangerous and divided. A time where the rules-based international, the global order, rules-based global order is under threat, in a time when technological change is accelerating. And we really have two choices as a jurisdiction, as a country in this circumstance. We can nostalgically look back and long for the old order to somehow return, or we can build a new one with purpose and partnership. And as the most European of the non-European countries, Canada looks first to the European Union to build a better world.
And then we have some people with mad cow disease. Check out this stupid chick.
Oh boy. Kenny, we know you really like this girl, but what? Well, we've heard that she's...
Kenny, your girlfriend is a notorious whore.
We're not only in a trade war, we might be in real war. And the last thing we need is for anybody to take our patriotic battle cry of elbows up to Canadians and mock it and put it down. When Pierre Poilievre says elbows down, he is echoing MAGA talking points and attacks on our country. You can criticize Mark Carney all you want. It's your job. But you don't have to do it by denigrating Canada's sense of power and purpose and patriotism in this critical moment for our sovereignty and our economy.
And how are young people supposed to feel about all of this confusion? Who do you trust? I don't trust anybody. In case we missed it in the intro, this CBC hack just reads it from the teleprompter like it's not a big deal. There's no research into this story, but he says this. He just reads the script.
And Canada needs new friends, allies, trading partners. And it's going to be a long road, by the way, so brace yourself.
I can't believe how many woke folk are still being duped by this, reselling it. Shame on you guys. Like, wake up, man. It's a lot to handle. Aaron, Canadian Loney, like, share, subscribe. We're trying to show Canadians what is happening before we get shut down, and that is pending. Watch this. Gary-Anna Sangare is going to deliver what they're doing next. They're shutting us all down. All our bank accounts, our mail, the internet. They are wiping out your rights. Again, don't pretend in the future that you weren't warned. Aaron Canadian Looney, it's a scary time in my world for your kids. Catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching this one. Mark Carney's got to go.
Minister for Public Safety.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I'm grateful to speak today on Bill C-8, an act respecting cybersecurity, and I want to acknowledge that we're gathered here on the traditional unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. And let me also take this opportunity, Madam Speaker, just to acknowledge the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation coming up on September the 30th, also known as Orange Shirt Day. It's a critically important day for Canada. It's a critical day for survivors and those young people that never went home. This is part of our history that we need to reflect on, and I encourage all Canadians to mark this commemoration in their own way. And I want to particularly acknowledge the incredible pain as well as the resilience of Indigenous people across this land.
I'd like to take this opportunity to remind my colleagues here in the House why this legislation is urgently needed.
Right now, Madam Speaker, Canada is facing unprecedented cyber threats across all sectors of society. Government, industry, academia, and individuals have been targeted by increasingly sophisticated threats, including the malicious use of artificial intelligence. The Communications Security Establishment, or CSC, has said cybercrime is now the most prevalent and pervasive threat to Canadians and Canadian businesses. CSC's Cyber Center has warned us of the many risks of cyber threats, with ransomware on the top of that list. Madam Speaker, I think all parliamentarians would agree that Canada must be better prepared to deal with these threats, to protect Canadians, our critical infrastructure, and our economy, and ensure Canada remains secure, competitive, and connected. Cyber threats to Canada are evolving rapidly, increasing in size and in technical sophistication every day.
Hey, aren't you the rainbow moron who recognized Palestine as a state? What the fuck, dude? You know what they do to gays there?
Young man, it's about global progress.
Progress? Dude, you're clueless. You're not speaking for Canadians. You're shilling for Qatar, WAF, China, and the Muslim Brotherhood. We're homeless and jobless while you kiss up to their agenda and support terrorism.
It's diplomacy, kid.
Diplomacy? You're a sellout to your elite pals, back in Palestine while Canada's screwed? Pathetic! Fine, you want to recognize Palestine? Well then I recognize @real Donald Trump as our true leader. He'd fight for Canadians, not your globalist cronies. You're a lost cause, Carney. We're done with you. Globalist clown. Trump would save Canada, and my future bigly.